Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting on Monday to review the activities of the Martyrs Fund. The meeting covered the benefits and services provided for the beneficiaries. During the meeting, the President ordered the payment of the compensation in one installment. The President also stressed on the importance of immediate payment of all compensations to families from the fund. The head of state also discussed means of developing the fund and increasing its resources to serve the families of the martyrs and the injured. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi greeted the Egyptian people and the whole Muslim nation on the occasion of the new Hijri year 1443. In a tweet, President al-Sisi said the occasion represents the highest example of patriotism and endurance in the face of the difficulties of life. The President prayed for God to protect Egypt and its people and extended wishes that the Arab and Muslim nations, as well as the whole world, would enjoy peace, security and prosperity. Also marking the occasion of the new Hijri year, First Lady Mrs. Intisar al-Sisi also greeted the Egyptian people and the Arab and Muslim nations on her Facebook page. She wrote that the occasion sets an example of determination and loyalty to the homeland. The First Lady prayed to God that the new year will be a year of peace and blessings for Egypt and the whole world. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed that Fariel Ashraf, the winner of the karate gold medal in the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, had honored Egypt. In a phone call with the television program 9 o'clock, President al-Sisi also awarded her father and mother a Hajj trip. The head of state added that he played karate since the year 1970, and he noted that it is his favorite sport. President al-Sisi said the state shall pay special attention to that sport along with other sports in appreciation to the Egyptian achievements in the Olympics by winning 6 medals. The President hailed all the Egyptian families who pay special attention to the talents of their children. President al-Sisi announced that some axes and bridges would carry the names of Fariel Ashraf, the winner of the gold medal in karate in the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, and her colleagues. The President said that in the past few years, programs were carried out to raise the efficiency of the youth sports centers, and that the efficiency of more than 4,000 centers was raised. Upon directives of President al-Sisi, Egypt sent 3 military planes carrying medical aid to Tunisia to help alleviate burdens of the Tunisian people. The aid was supplied by Egypt's health ministry to support the Tunisian people to face the repercussions of the current crisis in Tunisia. Officials in Tunisia thanked the Egyptian leadership, government and people for their support to the Tunisian people. Minister of Interior Mahmoud Tawfiq held a meeting on Monday with visiting Iraqi counterpart Osman al-Ghanimi, accompanied by a high-level delegation. The meeting witnessed security consultations which aim at boosting cooperation between the interior ministries of both countries. The meeting also tackled means of fostering bilateral relations at the security level and several issues of mutual concern. Egyptian and Emirati elements of the air forces continue the activities of the joint air drills Zaid 3, which are held in the UAE and last for several days. The two sides performed a number of combat tasks during the drills, where they exchanged expertise between the Egyptian and Emirati aviation crews. Several commanders of the armed forces of the two sides witnessed one of the drill stages, which included the implementation of air raids against hostile targets. The national airlines announced on Monday that it will start weekly flights between Moscow and the Egyptian Red Sea cities of Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. The company announced that it will run 7 weekly flights between Moscow and Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada starting Monday. Hurghada International Airport has already received 300 Russian tourists on board the first direct flight arriving from Moscow. This comes as part of the Civil Aviation Ministry's efforts to boost the tourist inflow to the country. Russian tourists have started arriving to Egypt after almost a 6-year hiatus. Egypt on Monday received its first shipment of one-shot Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines, obtaining 261,600 doses in cooperation with the African Union. The Assistant Health Minister for Media and Ministry spokesman said in a statement that the J&J vaccines will be distributed to 126 vaccination centers specifically for those who want to travel abroad. Egypt recently began locally producing Sinovac's COVID-19 vaccines through a deal between the Chinese company and Egypt's holding company for biological products and vaccines. The country has also received shipments of the Sputnik, Sinopharm and Oxford AstraZeneca shots, including via COVAX, a global agreement established by the Geneva-based Gavi Vaccine Alliance and the World Health Organization for the equitable distribution of vaccines. The government announced in June that it aimed to vaccinate 40% of the population of more than 100 million against COVID-19 by the end of this year. Entitled 7 Years of Leading Egypt and the Role of Workers in Building the New Republic, a conference was held by the General Syndicate of Workers of Journalism, Printing, Media and Archaeology under the auspices of His Excellency Mohammed Safen, Minister of Manpower. Nile TV's reporter Minna Dessouki has this report.
The General Union of Workers of Journalism, Printing, Media, Culture and Archaeology held a conference entitled Role of Workers in Building the New Republic under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, sponsored by His Excellency Mohammed Safen, Minister of Manpower. In the past 7 years, Egypt implemented mega projects which are considered a great achievement for political leadership for Egypt and also for the Egyptian workers despite the pandemic, and Egypt is flourishing under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The conference was held in the presence of the engineer Abdel Sadiq al-Shurbagi, Chairman of the National Journalism Commission, His Excellency Hussein Zain, Chairman of the National Media Authority, and a number of the symbols of journalism, printing, media, culture, archaeology, and members of House of Representatives, senators, and members of trade union committees. The conference honors the Egyptian workers who play a vital role in building the new republic for a better future for the love of Egypt and the new generation. The conference honored the names of the board members of the union workers who passed away. Among of them are Muhammad Wahabullah, General Secretary of the Federation, and Muhammad Salem Murad, the first Deputy Chairman of the Union of Workers, and Muhammad Al-Arabi, the head of the General Union of Mines, and Saeed Hasib, the head of the General Union of the Postal Service. The workers played a vital role in 30th of June revolution, and they still work and support, and we're waiting for more achievements and facing more challenges. Egypt is experiencing great achievements in the field of economy, infrastructure, digital transformation, and implemented mega projects. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, since he was assigned as a president back in 2014, he pledged that he would work to improve the standard of living for Egyptians and to restore stability after 3 years of political turmoil and security lapses. 7 years of building and construction, 7 years of prosperity under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Minna Dessouki, Nile TV International.
These were the political news. Now it's time for the economic updates, and these are the headlines. Welcome back. Egypt's stock market indices fluctuating in the trading session on Monday amid selling and purchasing operations by investors in both directions. Analysts said that Arab and foreign investment funds were selling shares in profit-making deals, while local investment funds were making use of low prices and selectively purchasing more shares. The benchmark EGX 30 index gained 0.57%, while the EGX 70 index for small and medium businesses slid by 0.82%, and the broader EGX 100 index also went down by 0.62%. The market capitalization gained £766 million to close at £711.24 billion amid transactions of about £2 billion.